Pokémon Legends. ZA Review, a bold return to Kalos, August 10th. Pokémon Legends. ZA is a game that feels both nostalgic and daring at the same time. Set in the beloved Kalos region and centered around Lumiose City, this latest Legends entry continues Game Freak's push toward reimagining what a Pokémon game can be, without completely abandoning the roots that fans love. While it doesn't reinvent the formula as dramatically as Pokémon Legends, Arceus did, ZA refines, expands, and experiments in ways that make it one of the most intriguing Pokémon experiences in years. This is a game about transformation of a city, of battle systems, and of Pokémon themselves. And while it stumbles in a few familiar places, the ambition on display is undeniable. A living, breathing Lumiose City, the biggest and boldest change in Pokémon Legends. ZA is its setting. Instead of sprawling across multiple regions or open wilderness, the game focuses heavily on Lumiose City, reimagined as a massive, evolving urban hub. This isn't just a city you pass through, it's the heart of the entire experience. Lumiose feels alive. Pokémon roam the streets, alleyways, rooftops, and underground spaces. Different districts feel distinct, with varying architecture, lighting, and Pokémon ecosystems. You might find electric types clustering around power grids, grass types reclaiming abandoned plazas, or dark types lurking in the city's shadowy corners at night. The idea of humans and Pokémon coexisting in a dense urban environment is explored far more deeply here than in any previous Pokémon game. Watching the city change over time, through story events, player choices, and redevelopment projects, adds a strong sense of progression that keeps exploration fresh. Exploration that encourages curiosity. While ZA is more structured than Legends, Arceus exploration is still a core pillar. Verticality plays a huge role, with rooftops, balconies, and multi-level environments encouraging players to think creatively. Pokémon traversal abilities return, allowing you to scale buildings, glide between towers, and move seamlessly through the city. Side quests are more meaningful this time around. Many involve helping citizens coexist with Pokémon, resolving conflicts, or uncovering Kalos lore that was only hinted at in Pokémon X and Y. These quests do a great job of grounding the world and making Lumiose feel like a place worth saving. That said, some areas outside the city feel underdeveloped by comparison. While still enjoyable, they lack the density and detail that make Lumiose so special. A fresh take on Pokémon battles. One of the most talked about aspects of Pokémon Legends, ZA, is its revamped battle system. Battles feel faster, more tactical, and more dynamic than traditional turn-based encounters. Positioning matters, timing matters. Certain moves gain new properties depending on spacing and momentum. Mega Evolution returns, but it's no longer just a power boost. Mega forms feel integrated into the combat system, offering strategic advantages rather than simply overwhelming stats. This adds excitement and tension, especially during major encounters and boss fights. However, the system does come with a learning curve, and not all players will love the departure from classic turn-based simplicity. For longtime fans willing to adapt, the payoff is worth it. Story and themes, progress versus preservation. ZA's narrative focuses on the redevelopment of Lumiose City and the consequences of rapid urban expansion. The story tackles themes of progress, environmental balance, and the evolving relationship between humans and Pokémon. Without spoiling too much, the plot ties heavily into Kalos' history, Mega Evolution, and the mysterious forces shaping the city's future. While the story doesn't always reach the emotional highs of Pokémon Black and White or Legends, Arceus, it's more thoughtful and mature than the average Pokémon narrative. The characters are memorable, especially the city planners, researchers, and rival figures who all represent different visions of Lumiose's future. Some villains feel underdeveloped, but the overall story is engaging enough to carry the experience from start to finish. Visuals and presentation. Visually, Pokémon Legends, ZA is a noticeable step forward. The art direction shines, particularly in lighting, environmental detail, and Pokémon animations. Lumiose City looks stunning at sunset, with neon lights reflecting off wet streets and Pokémon interacting naturally with their surroundings. Performance is mostly stable, though occasional frame drops and pop-in issues remind you that this is still a Pokémon game pushing hardware limits. These issues rarely break immersion but do keep the game from feeling truly polished. The soundtrack deserves special praise. Jazz-inspired city themes, ambient exploration tracks, and intense battle music help define the game's tone and give Kalos a unique identity. Pokémon variety and Mega Evolution. ZA features a strong mix of classic favorites and lesser-used Pokémon, many of which feel revitalized by the new systems. Mega Evolution's return is handled thoughtfully, with new Mega forms that feel balanced and purposeful rather than overpowered. Not every Pokémon gets equal attention, and some fan favorites are noticeably absent, but the overall roster supports the game's themes and mechanics well, where ZA falls short. Despite its ambition, Pokémon Legends, ZA isn't perfect. Some systems feel undercooked, particularly late-game progression and post-game content. Once the main story wraps up, there's less to do than you might expect, especially compared to other modern RPGs. AI behavior can be inconsistent, and certain battles lack the challenge needed to fully showcase the depth of the combat system. These shortcomings don't ruin the experience, but they do prevent the game from reaching its full potential. Final verdict. Pokémon Legends, ZA is a confident, creative step forward for the franchise. It doesn't completely redefine Pokémon the way Legends, Arceus did, but it builds on that foundation in smart, meaningful ways. Lumiose City is one of the most compelling settings Pokémon has ever created, and the blend of exploration, story, and experimental combat keeps the experience engaging from start to finish. While technical limitations and uneven content hold it back from greatness, the heart, ambition, and creativity on display make it a must-play for Pokémon fans who want something new. Pokémon Legends, ZA earns a strong 8 out of 10 stars. A bold evolution of the series, imperfect but exciting, and full of promise for Pokémon's future.